Okay, so this poster is actually a combination of three applications of discovering latent factors in high-dimensional data using tensor methods. The first application is discovering the neural cell types in brain. This is like the number one goal for brain initiative or the modern neuroscience. And not only we are trying to categorize, cataloging the neural cell types, but also we're trying to learn the gene profiles under different cell types. And so the data that we're using is the Allen Brain Atlas, which is the in pseudo hybridization imaging. It is a huge huge data set with 100 terabyte data. Essentially comprises of 20,000 genes. Each gene have 50 slices, and each slice is a highly cell resolution image, which can be 8,000 by 9,000 image. And the model we're using is, the point process mixture models. So the overall approach is like this. So we have set of each images, and we can find the joint histogram of the cell features. For example, the morphological features, the cell size, the cell orientation, the cell density and the cell intensity levels, or the gene expression intensity levels. And then we can use those joint histogram features to form spatial point process mixture models. Each of the cell is a mixture of cell types, and each of the cell also express a set of genes. And by unmixing this mixture model, we can learn the cell types, the joint histogram of the cell types over sizes, orientation, intensity level, and the density level. So we validate we use tensor methods to do this, to learn the mixture model, and to validate our model to compare with the baseline, which is a standard averaging gene expression level feature. And they're only averaging over small volumes of the data, although there is no guarantee that the images will be aligned in a cell level. So we see the perplexity, and our perplexity, which is blue here, is much better than the average expression level baseline. And actually, we discovered some cell types which are known here. So the three kind of cell types are known by the biologists, and can see here. So the other set of work is learning latent trees. So learning latent trees is proven to be versatile in terms of learning a hierarchical structure of the data. And what we are doing is doing a structural learning as well as a parameter estimation, which goes hand in hand. In structural learning, we're trying to do a local recursive grouping on different local neighborhoods, and do this. This is highly embarrassingly parallel. And in parameter estimation, what we're doing is a hierarchical tensor decomposition, looking at any three set of nodes and trying to do the decomposition. And you can also do from bottom to up, such forms a hierarchical tensor decomposition. And we apply this for some disease hierarchy on human beings. And so this is a data set that is the clinic records of patient diseases from some hospital. And we can see interpretable results here. For example, these two diseases are known to be correlated to each other, and we found them highly correlated by connecting to the same hidden node.
And the yellow node means they have a correlation to other diseases, right?
Sorry?
The yellow diseases.
These are hidden nodes.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So another application that I wanted to briefly introduce is the convolutional dictionary learning model. We know the traditional sparse coding model, where the data is a mixture or linear combination of some underlying components. But here, when the data have some shifting variance, we wanted to use convolutional models to model that. And here, essentially, we're reforming the convolutional model, convolutional dictionary learning model, by introducing this circulant structure, meaning that for each of these filters, we can have a shifted version of that, and putting them together and connecting all the activation maps to be a very long vector. And this model is equivalent to this. And our method then uses tensor decomposition by looking at the third order moment or third order cumulant of this x, the signal of the x. And it turns out that if you do a decomposition of the cumulant tensor, then you can discover the filters exactly and the shifted version of the filters exactly. You can find the details in the paper, but we compare this with the alternating minimization algorithm, which is usually used in this kind of convolutional model setting. But the drawback for that is that you have to do data passes in every iteration for alternating minimization. Also, there's lots of spurious local optimum that you cannot avoid. And it's very hard to parallelize, of course. But the advantage of doing the tensor decomposition is that you only need one pass of the data over all the algorithm. And you can also guarantee accurate and much faster convergence rate. And this is very highly parallel and very inexpensive, matrix inversion and FFT operations. And you can also see that the running time comparison, so the convolutional tensor decomposition is much faster compared to the alternating minimization.